Hi there, and welcome to Faith in 5, where we believe you can build your faith in just 5 minutes. I'm your host, Reggie Wilson, and just to give you an idea how the day is going to flow, or our time together is going to flow, it's really simple. Number one, I'll just summarize the Bible story, but as well will give you the chapter where you can go to so you can read it for yourself. Second thing I'll do for you, as well, I give you a focus scripture, something you can focus on for the day. And finally, 3, one challenge question, something to think about. All right? Well, great. Today's Faith in 5, it's about Noah. This takes place in Genesis 6 through Genesis 9. That's Genesis 6 through Genesis 9. Now, the great story about Noah is Noah was righteous and a devout man. He was in a world, and the world at the time was evil. People were doing evil things in the sight of the Lord, and God was unhappy with them. So God speaks to his righteous servant Noah and tells him, you know what? I'm going to destroy the world, and I'm going to rebuild through you, Noah. So Noah gets this message. But God gives Noah a specific plan on exactly how he was going to do it. So he tells Noah this plan. And Noah had to follow it. He told Noah, here, the first thing is, you're going to build this great ark. And he gave him the specifications for the ark and how it's going to be built. And Noah did it for detail. I mean, he followed every detail. Then the next thing he says, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take 2 of every animal and put on that ark. So here it is, and I'm thinking about it. Noah followed all God's instructions. And here is a scripture, the focus scripture that you can focus on. It's in Genesis 6, starting in verse 22. It says, Noah did everything just as God commanded him. I'm going to repeat that. It's Genesis 6, starting in verse 22. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. You know, I think about that, and I'm like, wow, here is Noah. Did everything. Listen, I could speak for myself. If I have something that I have to put together, and there's an instruction manual, look, I'm going to bypass the instruction manual and try to put it together on my own. That's how I think. Isn't that crazy, though? Here is the manufacturer giving me the manual, and I'm trying to put it together the way I think I knows best. Who knows better? Me or the person or the people that developed the manual on how to put it together? The people that developed the manual for that product. But you know, that's how I think sometimes. But when you think about it in relation to God, and you think about Noah, Noah followed every detail. Wow. However, Noah trusted God with everything in him. And I think about it, how did he get to that point and that level of trust? I say, I don't know about you, but for me, you know, to me to trust everything, that means I got to forget everything I know and everything and just get totally focused on the information or the persons in front of me and say, trust them wholeheartedly. Especially in the world today, it's hard to trust. But Noah put his trust in God. It says Noah was a righteous and a devout man of God. And because of his righteousness, God decided to build his people through Noah. He said, Noah, I'm going to destroy this generation and I'm going to rebuild through you. And guess what? Here's the instructions how to rebuild. And Noah did it without fail. You know, we look at Noah. Well, I'm looking at myself now. I ask myself this question: where in my own life do I need to trust God wholeheartedly? Because if I did, not to say I'm going to be perfect and God's going to rebuild through me, but he will do amazing things in my life. I'll admit to you right now, like I mentioned earlier, if you give me something to put together, hey, I'm going to do it my way. And that's not necessarily right. There's a better way to do it. The one who created the product. Well, God created us. Think about if we focus on trusting him, because he wrote the manual to how to best live our lives.